Bill Clinton has more accusations than Trump. Bill Clinton has been seen on the Epstein logs more than Trump. How is Clinton the lesser?
How do we know that he's been seen on the Epstein files more than Trump when we
He
don't
was on
have
the
the
flight
Epstein
log.
files?
He's been on the flight
When it
log.
is the case that because the Trump administration has been hiding them from us.
He's been on the flight logs. There's
Hasn't Trump also? Isn't Trump is also on the flight logs?
He's been on the flight logs more.
Been
And
on the
people
flight log.
accuse him-
What, dude? Wait. So I'm really confused with the argument here.
I'm gonna go up here. I want to talk about why I support the big beautiful bill, and you're just shifting the goalposts. Can we please talk about why the big beautiful bill is actually good for the country? Because that's what's going on now, and that's relevant today.
So in order for me to be shifting a goalpost, this would mean that a goalpost was first set and then I changed it. I have a question. Who first spoke? You or me?
I said hello first, so I spoke first.
And then who brought up the first bit of substance related to Donald Trump for pros and cons, reasons for supporting him or against supporting him? You or me?
Yeah, but am I the guest or are you the
Who
host?
was it? Who was it? Was it you or me?
What does the question say? Why do you support Trump?
Why do you
can I
support
say-
Trump? And this question can be framed by me asking you for your reasons or bringing up reasons why I don't think that you should. This is how these lives run. Maybe
No,
you just
the
haven't watched enough of
question
these
is
lives.
why-
But now answer the question. Who brought up the first bit of substance related to a reason for or against why you should or shouldn't
You
support
did, but
Trump?
it's going against your prompt. It's going against your prompt.
Oh, okay. So if I'm the person that brought up
Like,
the
you
first
need me?
substance
Like,
as it
are you-
related, so if I'm the first person that brought up substance as it relates to why we should or shouldn't support Trump, that means that I set the goalpost. So if you want to have a conversation about who's shifting the goalpost, well, then you are, because you're the one running away from the original goalpost in which was set. And it's
Wait, I'm
incredibly
shifting the goalpost.
funny and also hypocritical for you to be trying to contort that fact, gaslight me and my audience, and lead individuals astray, trying to convince them to believe that I'm the one running away or that I'm the one shifting the goalpost. Why do you have to be such a disingenuous debater, sir?
Because I want to talk about Fiscal. I don't know much about the personal life of Trump. I don't know much about E. Jean Carroll. I don't know much about the beauty pageants, accusations. I don't know much about that. What I do know is fiscal stuff. So I'd rather talk about fiscal stuff rather than personal lives.
Right. So I've been debating fiscal policy with people just like
No
you.
one's been able to debate it.
So
good,
I've
though. No one's been able to
I've
debate it
muted
good.
you because you've interrupted me. So when you asked me why I've muted you, right there is why.
All right, talk.
So I've been debating fiscal policy with people just like you for the last 3 hours. And you just said, well, no one was doing it good, though. I'm sure that every guest before you would have said the same exact thing. There's points in my life where I want to be able to make points too. Okay. And I don't feel like that's outrageous. I don't feel like that's outrageous at all. In fact, could you please give me an argument to demonstrate that it's outrageous for me to be asking you questions about the president you support?
Because your prompt says, why do you support Trump? You never gave me the reasons why I support Trump. You tried to make me defend the claim that I never said I supported. That's why.
So the question over my head can be asking you for your reasons why you support Trump, or it can be asking how you can still support Trump in lieu of a set of particular facts that I could grant to you. Right?
No.
And the question that I'm particularly asking you is how can you support Trump in lieu of a set of facts that I'm granting to you related to the fact that Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist, that Donald Trump has openly boasted about perving on naked underage teenage girls, in lieu of the fact that Donald Trump has hit on and sexualized 10-year-old girls and said that he dated his daughter if he wasn't his daughter and on the Epstein files. Like, man, like honestly, I think it's crazy that for whatever reason, so many Americans are so willing to accept the idea that we should just ignore these attributes of the president and wipe them out as if they don't exist. And if anybody wants to bring up the fact that they exist, all of a sudden they're the bad person. Like, really, bro? Really? You want to frame me as the bad guy? You want to frame me as the runner because I'm asking you why you support a
Politicians do stuff
P3DO
like that all the
rapist?
time. Cuomo ran in the primary. Bill Clinton got reelected for the Monica Lewinsky stuff. Like, this happens all the time.
You just brought it up about Andrew Cuomo, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be a hypocrite if I endorsed Andrew Cuomo, right?
Yeah, but you probably voted
Right.
for Joe Biden.
We'll go ahead and listen to this video.
In New York, please get out there tomorrow on June 24th and vote for mayor. It is an incredibly important election. I'm endorsing Zohran Mamdani for his common sense solutions for everyday.
Yeah, shut the hell up, buddy. Get cooked.
Oh, it's even worse that you propose Zoran. What do you support
Get
about
get
Zoran?
get fucking cooked, buddy.
What do you support about Zoran?
Sure, I'll tell you why I support Zoran the moment you could respond to the reasons I brought up at the beginning of this live that you've been running away from for so long insofar as
I am
why
not
you
educated
shouldn't
on
support
I'm
Trump.
not educated on that. I'm not educated on that. I concede that. Can we talk about why you support Zoran? I concede that.
Okay, so you
not
concede
educated
that.
on that.
So does this mean that you no longer support Trump?
Again, I want to do my own research. I'll do my own research on L. Jean Carroll and other stuff. I can see.
I could actually help you do the research right now. Like for instance,
No, I
would you
want to
ever?
talk about Zoran and fiscal responsibility, please.
Okay, buddy, if you're gonna run away, I'm gonna move on to the next guys.
You're just like it's pathetic, bro. What you're doing is just goofy. Like you're goofy.
Yeah,
You're goofy
yeah,
as
man.
hell.
I'm sorry. I'm so fucking goofy for trying to determine why you support a rapist. It's terrible of me.
You talk to everyone else about fiscal responsibility. Why am I the first person you're bringing up just random stuff in the past?
Yeah, you got unlucky, kid.
Yeah, I did because I thought you were a serious debater, not a clown show.
Well, wow, you think
I
it's a
thought you were
clown show?
serious
Wait. How am I a clown show for trying to convince you that you shouldn't support a rapist? And honestly, I think that me getting you to absolutely pivot, run away, and just be shaken in your boots in front of 16,000 people, saying that you concede and you need to do your own research, even though concession would imply the conclusion that thereby you wouldn't support Trump, and I'm offering to help you do your research by playing you these clips on live. That makes me a clown show? Come on, you're just pouting because you're pissed because he got you shaken in the boots. Can't handle it.
Oh my god, bro! I see. I read your comment sections. People are saying they're tired of non-serious debates. Do you want to have serious debates, or you want to just do TikTok clips? Gotcha.
You think
Do you
it's a
wanna-
non-serious debate to be asking you why you would support a man that does these things?
Oh my god, bro! Can we talk about the big beautiful bill? Can we have a serious discussion about the big beautiful bill?
Sure. The moment that you can stop running away from the original points I brought up. We have a full fleshed out conversation about that. We can talk about the BBB.
So what's the one question? I'm sorry, we've been on.
Full fleshed out conversation. For sure. We'll start here. Do you think it's reasonable to hold a red line against a president for being a P3DO perv that has also raped a woman that thinks the Constitution should be abolished?
If he was convicted for child rape, then I think that would be disqualifying. When it comes to Eugene Carroll, there's a lot of irregularities in her story based on my own research. She didn't know the exact store of it. She didn't remember the date or the time, which is a little fishy to me. But overall, I do want to do more research on Eugene Carroll. I just found out about her. I do want to do more research. When it comes to the pageant thing, you could say that he was joking, but I think that joke is in poor taste. And I don't agree with him as a person altogether. I think he's a flawed person. I think he has done some wrong stuff, but same thing. I think every politician has done some wrong stuff. Biden was accused of weird behavior when it comes to sniffing girls' hairs and just being creepy altogether. There's been multiple politicians that have this issue. Obviously, this doesn't support it, but overall, I think that Trump's policies are better for the country.
Okay, so your first point was saying that Elgene, her name's Eugene Carroll, you think that she had some irregularities in her story. Your second point was that Trump was joking about perving on underage teens while they were getting naked and undressed.
So did I not say it was poor
And then
taste? Did I not say it was poor taste and it was a bad joke? Did I not say that?
Right. You said that it was a joke, and then you said it was poor taste and a bad joke. Okay, I'll add that on to my recap. And then your third point was that there's other politicians that have also done bad things. So I'm going to work backwards. To the third point, saying that there's other politicians that have done bad things, the conclusion wouldn't be, therefore, you should support all of these politicians. The conclusion would be, therefore, you shouldn't support any of these politicians.
Okay, and I have a hypothetical for you. Bill Clinton versus Trump was running.
Well, now you're moving on from the original 3 points that you brought
No,
up.
this is hypothetical.
Okay, for sure. For what one of the 3 points that you just brought up is this hypothetical relevant to?
Your point that, you can't, just because politicians do bad things, you shouldn't vote for them. Can I just bring up this hypothetical and you let me finish this hypothetical? Bill Clinton was running on the modern.
I said you shouldn't support them.
So you wouldn't vote for Bill Clinton then? If Bill Clinton was running in 2024 with the same policies as Harris versus Trump, you wouldn't support Clinton?
It would depend on who he'd run against. If he ran against Trump, I'd vote for Bill.
Even though Bill Clinton has been accused of going to Epstein Island, he's been accused of cheating on his wife, he's been accused of other weird behavior, you would still vote for Clinton?
Donald Trump not only has all three.
Doesn't that sound a little hypocritical?
Donald Trump not only has all of those accusations, but has been proven in multiple
Clinton has worse
circumstances.
accusations.
Okay.
Clinton has worse
Thank
accusations.
you so much for interrupting me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So first, you said that Bill Clinton has been accused of going to Epstein Island. So has Trump. You said that Bill Clinton has been accused of cheating on his wife. He wasn't accused. He just did cheat on his wife. So has Trump 3 times. And then you said that Bill Clinton had other multiple allegations. So does Trump. So in the pretense of a general election, where it's one or the other, I will vote for the lesser of the two evils. Bill Clinton seems like the lesser of the two evils within this respect.
Bill Clinton has more accusations than Trump. Bill Clinton has been seen on the Epstein logs more than Trump. How is Clinton the lesser?
How do we know that he's been seen on the Epstein files more than Trump when we
He
don't
was on
have
the
the
flight
Epstein
log.
files?
He's been on the flight
When it
log.
is the case that because the Trump administration has been hiding them from us.
He's been on the flight logs. There's
Hasn't Trump also? Isn't Trump is also on the flight logs?
He's been on the flight logs more.
Been
And
on the
people
flight log.
accuse him-
Dude, wait. So I'm really confused with the argument here. So are you basically trying to suggest are you trying to suggest the conclusion that hypothetically, if Bill Clinton had a worse character than Trump, would I still vote for Bill? No.
Even though he does.
I'd move to Europe.
You'd move to Europe.
Yes, unironically. I'm not even joking. I'm literally not even joking.
So would you vote for Clinton or John McCain? Both modern Republican candidate, modern Democrat candidate, same policies that they're running on now.
Same policies that they're running on now. I don't know what John McCain's policies were. So let me know when
so
you're done with the
modern
hypothetical
day
game so I could go back to talking about the 3 points that you brought up. But I'll entertain the hypotheticals. What else do you have to ask me?
Modern day campaign, same policies. John McCain's running on Trump's policies, maybe with different rhetoric, but same policies. And then Clinton's running on the same as Harris's policies.
Yeah, this was the question that you just asked me. So, I mean, this is essentially suggesting...
You said you didn't know John McCain's policies, but I was just clarifying.
So, yeah, this is essentially the same idea as asking me, if we knew that Bill had a character that was worse than Trump's, but he ran on better policy, who would I vote for? I'll give you the same response. I'd move to Europe.
You have to vote for one.
I'd have to vote for one?
Gun to your head, you have to vote for one.
I'd let the gun go off.
You would... Okay, bro, let's be serious.
I'm trying to demonstrate... I'm trying to demonstrate the fact that if we just had this absolute terrible choice between a candidate with a character that is better than the second candidate, but their policy is led to human rights violations, 66 million of them. Their policy supports mass deportation, which would necessarily withhold a disdain for human rights, constitutional violations, as well as a destruction of the economy. But candidate number 2 ran on policies that were slightly better, but had a completely morally bankrupt character. They were child rapists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I would move to Europe. I would say, America's fallen, I'm gone.
You can't move. Passport declined.
So now you're just trying to set me up in a hypothetical that is operating outside of the world that we live in. See, you choose to support Trump, even though you had the option to move to Europe.
Because, again, I don't agree with Trump as a person altogether. I mean, there would be some things crossing the red line, but overall, I think his policy is going to save America rather than
great. You were able to ask me your hypothetical questions. So now we're going to go back to the second point that you made. You said that Donald Trump was joking when he boasted about perving on naked underage girls. Why do you think he was joking? We could listen to the clip together. He wasn't joking.
Because it was locker room talk. It was with Howard Stern, bro.
So because what is quote unquote locker room talk?
No, well that's what he said after grabbed him by the pee. He said it was locker room talk.
Okay, so you're saying that he was joking because it's locker room talk. So can you define locker room talk so I could see why you think this informs us of the fact that it's a joke?
He's just being facetious. He's joking.
Facetious.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
Also, I have a problem speaking. I don't like you making fun of when I'm trying to pronounce words. That's not cool, bro. What do I mean by that? I mean, he's just saying he's exaggerating. He's joking. He's trying to get laughs.
Okay, so your argument is that you know that he's joking because he's joking.
Yeah, you can tell by the tone he's joking.
You could tell by the tone of his voice that he's joking.
Listen to the clip. I know you're trying to pull up the clip right now.
Let's listen to the tone of his voice together.
Well,
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, man, that didn't
Obviously
sound like a
joking
tone of
tone.
voice that would induce a joke to me.
It did sound. They were laughing. It was with Howard Stern. It was with, and also Biden hasn't made jokes about that too. You want me to pull up some clips about Biden?
I want to clarify that you think
Biden.
he was,
Biden.
so,
you wanted me to
yeah,
bring up
now you're
clips about
doing
Biden?
now you're doing the but Biden game. We could talk about Biden after this. Now I want to clarify that you think he was joking because of the tone of his voice.
I think he was joking.
So yes, we're gonna listen to it again, and we're gonna break
The
it
thing
down.
you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me.
So he says, as the owner of the pageant, it's my obligation to do that. So then Howard Stern says, so you have done that.
I'll tell you the funniest is that
And then he says, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before show.
I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And
What is the difference between the tone of his
funniest?
voice?
The
and,
funniest? Does that sound like something serious? The funniest?
Well,
Really sounds like a joking story.
So the point is that he thought it was funny to perv on the naked teenage girls.
And I said that joke was in poor taste. I disagree with that joke.
Oh,
I'm against that joke.
So the joke isn't the fact that he was perving on the naked underage teenage girls. The joke is that he called it funny to perv on the naked underage teenage girls.
Yes, and that's a poor taste.
So then
joke.
you concede that he actually was perving on the naked
No,
underage
he
teenage
wasn't.
girls. He
He
just
said
didn't actually
he
think it
was-
was funny.
He was clearly joking. Was there any accusations of these pageant people saying that he was perving on them?
Yes, in fact, we have one of the women come on this live every so often. Her name's Victoria, and when she was 17, she competed in Miss Teen USA. And when she was competing in Miss Teen USA, Donald Trump would go backstage often, and Victoria will come up on the live and tell you all about this. So, I mean, listen, we'll just listen to the last 10 seconds once again. There's absolutely no tone of his voice that demonstrates that this is a joke.
pageant, it's your obligation.
Let's just
do
listen
that.
to it
So
together.
you have done that. Now, tell me
Well, I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to
right.
make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So he speaks in a regular tone of voice. He says, so I'll tell you the funniest thing that I do is I'll go backstage before a show and I'll see these incredible looking women and there's no men around while they're getting undressed. They have no clothes on. And I kind of get away with things like that. That doesn't sound like a joke. That sounds like he was describing something
Maybe
that he
we're
actually did.
misinterpreting
And my evidence that this is something that he actually did is because he said he actually did it, and he said he gets away with things like this. Honestly, I just think that you're a brain-rotted cult member. Honestly, if I was president of America, if I was dictator of America, I would take away your right to
I would
vote.
go to Europe. I would go to Europe because I'm too big of a wimp to say my opinion. I vote for someone
So
that
now
helps
you're
with
crashing
policy.
out. Oh, the crash out is starting, everybody. Sit back. grab
I
your
know I am
popcorn.
crashing out because this is BS, bro.
Yeah,
This is
this is the MAGA cope, everybody. Thank you so much for crashing out. Crash out harder. Come on, you're being boring.
No. I just think this is BS. I
Come on, say it with no. You gotta say, I think this is bullshit. Okay, actually say the word. Don't just say BS. Come on.
I'm not
Give
gonna
us a
get
little
mad.
more.
I just think that you're a low skill, low.
There
IQ.
we go. Oh, now we're getting there. Come on, keep
No,
going.
I just think you're low IQ.
Yup,
I thought.
yup.
No,
Anything
you are
else?
low IQ.
Come on,
You
take
are.
a little further than that. Try to hurt my
Okay,
feelings.
can I bring up some quotes that Biden said?
No, you got to take it a little further with a crash
You can
out.
go defend him, and you can go make a pretzel.
You got to take it a little further with a crash out, man. Come on, you just called me low IQ. Take it further than that. That one didn't hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings. Come on, at least
You're
try.
fucking muting me, and then maybe I. Can
Oh, now he's throwing out the curse words.
No,
Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there.
No, look. I want to have a civil discussion. I don't know why you're making me mad.
Okay, so then respond to my evaluation of the clip that demonstrated that he wasn't joking.
Me and you have a fundamental disagreement.
Yeah, but the fundamental disagreement is literally rooted in you being a fucking cult member.
Bro, you're a cult member for Biden. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm a cult member for Biden. Then why did I hurrah when he stepped down and Kamala Harris stepped up? And I'm not even going to let you answer that question because everything is but Biden. I swear to God, you people are all the same. And when I say you people, I mean you brain-rotted Trump supporters with an IQ lower than the average family fucking dog that will go to hell and back to defend anything that Donald Trump has done, to the extent of me literally playing a clip of Donald Trump boasting about perving on naked underage teenage girls, and then you say it's a joke, so then I play the clip 3 more times, I do a breakdown of every word he said, we evaluate the tonality of his voice, and we come to the conclusion that it's not a joke, and I even further justify that via the fact that he said this is literally something that he does, and he explained what he did, and then at the end he said he gets away with it, and then you continue to repeat that you think it's a joke, but in repeating that you think it's a joke, you cannot tell me why my evaluation of the tonality of his voice is being serious is wrong, and you could just simply call it a fundamental disagreement. Then as soon as I call out that fundamental disagreement as it being a fundamental disagreement between fact based upon evidence and fiction based upon emotions, you start crashing out, you call me low IQ, and you say I'm 5'7". This is a disgrace, man.
You're 5'7", bro. You need to lower your tone.
If you say 5'5", it'll hurt my feelings more. Come on.
I'm a 6'4" Chad Light.
You
need to lower your tone. I'm a 6'4" Chad Light. You can't be talking to me like that. Again, it was joking term.
When you say 6'4" Chad Light, do you mean like the 64% that you got on every single math test from 6th grade to 12th?
Oh, roasted. Oh. Okay, let me bring up some of Biden's quotes. Poor kids.
I'll let you play the Biden game as soon as you can either concede that Donald Trump wasn't joking, or you can reject my evaluation on the tonality of Donald Trump's voice, coming to the conclusion that Trump is not joking.
Your evaluation.
Okay, why? Okay, why?
In my opinion, how I interpreted it with Howard Stern in a joking. Howard Stern's a comedian. He's a jokester, and I interpreted it as a poor joke.
Okay, so then you'll have to explain why you reject my evaluation. You can't just say that you do, then repeat the original claim that you made a joke. That's not an argument, that's just a claim.
Stop fucking muting me and then I can explain.
Now I'm going to start muting you for fun, bro. It's a joke. Calm down.
5'7", bro.
Dude, it's literally just a joke. Like, honestly, like you could obviously tell that me muting you is a joke, right, man?
Okay, real funny. Real funny. Funny guy here, funny guy. Yo, you cannot be muting the 6'4" Chad Light.
Wait, why? I'm just joking.
Are you gonna let me?
No, because I'm joking still.
You're not funny, bro. You're not funny, bro. Are you gonna let?
Even you're laughing at it. Okay, we're gonna move on to somebody that's not as much of a cult member.